Hello, and Karen as well. Okay, so I want to introduce Vicky at the top in the van and Alice down there. They've really graciously allowed us to interrupt their day to day. I see Vicky's on her way to a job, but it's very important that we see some tradeswomen, I think, here. So I've got some questions to ask you, and I wonder if we can just take turns in talking about this thing. And also, obviously, Karen, there, she's electric. We're going to have a longer conversation, Karen, but please, you know, butt in, talk about some of the things that I'm going to ask you, particularly to Vicky and Alice. I want to ask you for tradeswomen who are watching this and who are going to sign up. You've been working with the register for a few months, so in our kind of a pilot, let's just see if it worked kind of thing. We've been doing that for a few months, and I just wondered if you could tell us, perhaps Alice first and then Vicky maybe, about the ease of working with the register. How easy is it to work with the register?
The register is really easy to work for. You email me jobs. I get to accept or decline based on how my how busy I am, and yeah, it's a really great thing.
Okay. Okay. Vicky, your turn. Go, Vicky.
Hello. Yeah, basically the same, to be honest. I mean, my diary's pretty stacked for the next 2 weeks, which is nice to get to a point of fully booked before winter even hits. So, I mean, it definitely shows that some things are doing really well. Really easy to get work from you guys. You know, my phone is quite nicely going off quite often with work. So, yeah, it's really nice to work alongside with the register, actually. Even if I'm busy myself, then, you know, again, as Alice said, I can say, you know, I'm too busy, as I've let you guys know, nothing for 2 weeks, you know, and that's sort of a good thing as well.
Hmm. Yeah, and just to say how the register works is that if some work comes up in a particular area and we know a tradeswoman in that area, we contact them and say, "Do you want to do this?" And often they say yes, and sometimes they say can't, and that's the way it is. And we get back to the customer. The directory works in such a way that it isn't something that the public can search because of the way it will be running. It's very important that there's a personal interaction between the register and the customer. So and also because a lot of the time those will be vulnerable women that that the people that we're serving. So we don't just allow anyone to register. There's a huge verification process, and once you've reached those heady heights of being able to take work from the register, then it's up to you whether it fits around your day. Can you tell me, has it increased your income at all?
Yes, it really has increased my income. It makes a big difference to me saving and paying for non-essential items, which is great because I work for another company. So that pays for the bills, and this is more pocket money, I would say.
Okay, Vicky, I think it's a little bit more than pocket money for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit different from me and Alice. I actually don't work for a company anymore. Um, I actually stopped working for that company because I was female. It was a bit of a hindrance. So I was out on my own. And then I come alongside Stopcocks, and actually my diary's pretty, you know, I'm pretty doing a lot of work for them in between my own customers as well. But it just made it a lot easier to not have to be searching for my work as opposed to, you know, having it given to me. It's taking a lot of stress out of my hands there. So for me, it's a bit more like a full-time job, which, you know, suits and doesn't suit when, you know, I can still go off for a week if I want to and not be there. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, one of the things again that has brought up is that depending on where you are, obviously, but we can actually we answer the phone. The register answers the phone for you, so you can just be working, and you only have to kind of look at the notifications that you'll get, and also there's an app coming up as well that's going to make it a lot easier for you to work on the hop. But uh, we need to say that don't rely on us to make your bit. We're not; those are not the promises that we're making. That we're going to enable you to like completely like rely on the register for all the work, but if it does happen to be that way, then that's fabulous. And maybe in the future we will be able to promise those things as we've got more and more tradeswomen, more and more visibility, that we will be able to. But also, I just wondered about some of the services that you get from the register. So, for example, I know that I've had phone calls from both of you regarding. I've been a plumber for 30 years, so experience in pretty much, well, most things. So I know that I've had phone calls from you. So one of the other things that we want to provide because of the community is mentoring, so that if somebody is a newbie or they're at somewhere where they are not so sure about what's happening, being part of the community will enable them to get advice. So I believe that, well, I know that I've spoken to both of you two on stuff. So how does that impact on your, on your being as a heating engineer, plumber?
It's really great. As we had the other day, sometimes two brains thinking about something is better than one, especially when you get a little bit stuck, or if you're thinking the worst case scenario, sometimes it's just a lot better to have two people throwing ideas around. So it is really helpful to have somebody on hand that you can call.
Yeah. Vikki, anything? I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think exactly the same. I mean, you've definitely had your fair share of calls from me. It is always really handy to know. I mean, I left a company not knowing a wide range of things. So for me, it's been a lot of learning on the job. And at a time that seemed a lot more scary than it does now. I generally never thought that I would be able to do a lot of the stuff that I've managed to start doing now, because I can just sort of give you guys a call and say, look, haven't done this before, but talk me through it. Let's do it a first time. And, and now I'm out doing those things. So it is very helpful. It's put me in a position where I never thought that I personally would get to. I generally thought sort of my learning was going to plateau when I went out alone. So it's actually been really nice to sort of have a community as well, not just yourself. I mean, I'm in quite close contact with Alice. So it is nice to have a whole community, not just, one or two people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things, that's one of the aims of the register, is to create the community. We've got hundreds of years of experience amongst all of us in all the different trades. So that's, and also I just have to say, because I haven't said, it's completely free for tradeswomen to sign up. It's completely free. So in a way, you're getting like completely free mentoring. Someone's answering your phone for you. And the other thing that happens through the register, obviously, is the payment side of it. So what happens then? How have you found that part of the register?
I have not had any problems with payment. I think it's really simple. I invoice you. Well, I quote to the customer. I invoice you. You invoice them. And then when they pay, I get it straight in my bank, which is great. So I've not had a late payment yet, which is also really good. And if in the worst case they don't pay, you do all the hard work by chasing them, which is also takes a lot of stress out of it for us. It is really easy to work for you.
Well, you're working with us, actually, Alice.
With us.
Yeah. Vikki?
Yeah, I mean, again, the same, really. I forgot what I was saying then. I do apologize. Just a note of what somebody just messaged me about a job, so I lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, listen, I mean, people forget, invoices come, it happens all the time. As you know, I do, like I said, at the minute I'm almost doing a lot of work for you guys. So there's a lot of invoices knocking around. So one or two occasionally have not come in at the point. And I mean, to be honest, I don't even have to do a thing. They're generally always paid after the day where the limit was, because everything's all done your end, and you've always contacted the customer, told them that, and generally they've always just forgotten, or they've missed an email or something. So in maybe the once or twice in the however many jobs I've done, which is a lot, it's always been rectified nice and easy. So again, it is a big stress off my shoulders there as well.
Okay, well, thanks for those. There's one other thing that I just want to ask you, and it's to do with the bigger picture, and it's something that me and Karen are going to talk about in a bit. So I've got it written down here. And how does it feel to be involved with something that is designed to empower women and help them to feel safe? And why should other tradeswomen get involved, in your opinion? Should we have Vikki going first this time?
Look, I mean, I get it from the customers all the time. It's easy enough to see why it's important when, you know, your customers always, a lot of the time they comment on it, and not in the way that a normal customer would. You know, I get a lot of grateful people tell me that they're really happy that they found a female. I get a lot of stories about, you know, people that haven't felt comfortable in the past, and that for me is more than everything, to show that it's something that's worth it. Because for somebody, you know, I mean, my mum is an elderly female, disabled in her own home. I'm pretty sure that I would much prefer to send a female around in her vulnerability, and I know a lot of people feel that way. So I mean, I personally just think that seeing the benefit, that when other people mention it when you're at their houses, that you know, that is enough. And for the tradeswomen, again, it's the same thing. You're getting work, but also, you know, there is a bigger picture for you. People are coming to you a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. Alice, anything to add?
I think Vikki pretty much covered it all there, but I agree. It is really important for some of the people to be able to find us, because they feel safer with us in their homes. So it is very important that they find us and have the opportunity to have women work for them, and that, yeah.
Well, unless you've got anything that I haven't thought about that you just want to say to people, because people are listening, would you encourage people just to women to sign up onto the register, even if we don't, if they're not taking work, even if they're employed, we actually want them to sign up as well, because of the counting, and how important it is that we get the real numbers. So give us some words of encouragement. Go.
Who's going first? Alice? Look, I just think it is really important. Listen, regardless of whether you don't do any work through the register, just knowing that, I mean, even for me, just knowing that there's a lot more females out there than I ever actually thought that there was, is actually a really nice feeling. And I generally didn't know, you know, I didn't know about you. I didn't know about your business. I didn't know about Alice. You know, I didn't know about any of this before, you know, I come on. And actually it is a really good thing to have around. And I personally wouldn't change it. I'm so glad that I actually come onto the register. So, you know, thank you for that, guys. You know, and that's it.
Thank you, Vikki.
I
Okay.
think Vikki pretty much covered it with what she said. But yeah, it is really great. I really enjoy working for the register for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's just a really great thing that actually exists.
Okay, well, we're really grateful that you took time out of your busy work schedule to come on this call and tell people what it's really like at the Chalk Face for you, and as being part of the register, and how important it is. So I'm going to let you two just go off and carry on with your days, and no doubt we'll speak again soon. Thank you, Alice, and thank you, Vikki.
Thanks very much, Hattie. Bye-bye.
Bye.